good day yesterday? Everybody got up at 6:30 and watch the Canadians win? Anybody? Wow. Are you kidding me? And I went to Purdue. I got to have something to root for in the wintertime. Mr. Bevlar, you were up. Are you sure you were up? I heard that you had gone to bed. Oh, okay, perfect. At this time, I'd like to start the presentation with the help of Mr. Coomer. He'll be working the controls. So I'd like to welcome you to the 2014 Special Awards Ceremony for the Kentucky PGA. I'd like to introduce my committee. The committee took the time out of their day on January someday, I can't remember, 2014, and I'd like to thank the following, Mr. I can't say who they were because it's kind of a close-knit group, but Mr. Did have a lot of commentary on deciding the winner of the whatever award. So we did have a lot of great conversations. There was a lot of people there, a lot of good input, and we really, really thank you people out there. So on behalf of my committee, I'd like to give a round of applause to the people in the audience for all of the people who nominated and all the nominators that put in all their information, because there was a lot of paper. I think there was 14,000 trees killed for all the information that was put in, but that's not bad, that's good. We needed all that. But I need to give a special heartfelt thanks to Mrs. Erin Horn. She did a lot of work for the committee. She sends out the nominations in a timely manner. She collects and collates all the data. She has lunch ready for the committee. She has all the ballots ready for the hard balloting that took place, and she sends all the winners to the nationals, so we can have an opportunity to have a national winner in the Commonwealth of Kentucky PGA section, which we're working on very hard. When we do this, we take very, very hard concern about what we're doing, who we're nominating, so that we can have a national winner. So Erin, thank you very much for all you do. She deserves some applause, guys. The first award, and Kelly, can you go get, well, never mind, I'll get you to open the door in a second. The first award is for the 2014 Media Representative. We had one nominee, therefore we had one winner, and his name is Don Russell. If he would, if he's here, he does a great job with Inside Golf of Kentucky. I've watched a couple of episodes. It's very good. I watched the episode with Chris Osborne. You need a little help with your television skills, but he was pretty good. But it was a very good episode, and we really appreciate Mr. Russell's efforts for putting forth the game of golf in the state of Kentucky. So give him a round of applause. When I announce it, if you could go get the winners of the vendors group, I would appreciate it, Kelly. Thank you. What we're going to do now is we have the lists of the people that were nominated. So I'd like to read the names of the people that were nominated, give them a round of applause when I'm done, and then we'll have the winners. Okay? The nominations for the Sales Rep of the Year for 2014 were Charlie Albert from the Monterey Betancourt and Bionic Corporations, Tim Flynn from Ping, Perry French from Cleveland Golf, Tim Gertz from Oakley, Ainsley Keller from Nike Golf Apparel, John McHenry from Callaway Golf, Greg Moret from Titleist, and John Perdue from Titleist. You give them a round of applause for all their hard work. Obviously, for as many miles as they have to travel, but not a lot of them have just Kentucky, so they probably have other states as well. They do a great job to be nominated for this award. At the winners of the Sales Rep of the Year for 2014, we couldn't just pick one. The winners' companies have a philosophy of educating the professional, and their continued support that we all receive helps all of us in the goal of growing the great game of golf. At this time, it's my privilege to announce that Greg Moret and John Perdue of Titleist are the winners of the Sales Rep of the Year. So if Kelly's going to go get them out when they come back in, if you can give them a round of applause, that'd be great. Or you can start it now and crescendo when they come in, or however you want to work that. French Canadian, yeah. How's it going, eh? Oh, forgot, I do pay dues to the USA Hockey Association. I pay $95 a year to referee, and TJ Oshie was awesome. Anybody get to watch that against the Russians? Put your hand up. It's all right, you can be a hockey fan. Or Lexington, excuse me. They must be making a big sale. There we go. I'd say they must be making a big sale. Okay, I'd like to congratulate Greg Moret, John Purdue on the 2017 next award is the presentation of the Resort Merchandiser for the Commonwealth of Kentucky PGA Section 2014. The nominees were Jeremy Schaffner and Bruce Bottoms. The winner is at a state park resort. The resort does approximately 20,000 rounds a year with an average sales volume of 95,000. The state park resort golf course that he's the head professional at is a destination type facility, so he tries to purchase high quality logoed items, and those are the main staples that he sells, but also to set himself apart a little bit, he tries to treat his transient customers with some special things like club and ball fittings, so that when they're there and they have some time off or whatever in between rounds, because it is a destination, they might be there for 2 rounds in a day. He tries to facilitate that with them and try to get some other sales as well as what he's already doing with his logo and merchandise. So please help me congratulate Bruce Bottom from Dale Hall. The Kentucky Section PGA Public Merchandiser 2014 nominees are Brad Bashan, Todd Butts, Craig Hebert, and Barry Kite. The winner of this division, the gentleman owns his own merchandising concession in his facility. Pro shop displays are changed every 14 to 21 days based on special events, demo days, the weather and the climate, and changes in things that are going on at the facility or in the city that he works at. His gross sales for 2013 were $250,000, with an excess of $50,000 coming from corporate partner sales. 3 things he wants you to keep in mind when you're working for at a public facility in merchandising. You need to know your customer and develop an atmosphere to fill their needs. Build strong relationships with vendors. Public merchandise, you make your money when you buy the item, not when you sell it. Vendors can help you when you get started with this process so that you can buy at the best price and think outside the box because you cannot change your location or your customer demographics very easily. So at this time, I'd like to call on Mr. Craig Hebert from Shawnee to come up and get his award. talked about this morning, and Mr. Bevelar kind of summarized that we have a lot of reporting to do and a lot of things that we're involved in, and a lot of things that you get educated on. And today is the culmination of everybody sitting where you are and learning what you're supposed to do. So if you want to be up here to receive an award from a fine young president like Kelly Williams, you need to pay attention to who these people are and make sure that you call them, ask them questions. Don't be afraid. They're more than happy to give you all the information that you'd like to ask them. The next department is the Kentucky Section PGA Private Merchandiser of the Year for 2014. We have a lot of nominees, which is great. Ben Bell, Tommy Brummett, Danny Barron, Chris Hamburger, Gary Bevelar, Wayne Owen, Scott Smith, Josh Schneider, and Eric Gilliland. I put the clubs up there and the cities they're at, so if you're close and you're an apprentice, number one, and you want to learn how to do this, you might want to apply for their positions, not for their positions, but for an apprentice job at their place, and maybe their positions later on. But you might also know who to ask and look for and where they're at, so you can position yourself to get information when you need to. The committee had a hard time with this one, so I'm going to give you some facts on the winners. We had a tough time, so we have two winners. It's not a tie; they're both winners. So it's a shootout. We're going to have that guy from the grocery store clerk. It's not a good. That's an auctioneer. No. Over 50% of all their time is they give that time to their merchandising in their facility. They both have 19 to 20,000 rounds. They both move displays maybe somewhere between 20 and 60 times a year. Their sales were north of $350,000 for 2013. The one gentleman uses demo carts and a flight scope launch monitor to offer different services than big box stores, because he has one about 1.5 miles from his facility. Therefore, they treat the customer like they give them a lot of one-on-one time instead of just going into the big box store and they're looking at a set of clubs. They actually take them out, give them lessons, and help them service them so they get the right set of clubs. The other gentleman merchandises his golf course with a boutique feel, very service-oriented. He had a 3-month renovation at his facility and kept his merchandise dollars level from the year before, which is phenomenal for having a renovation. People don't want to go in and pro shop, all that kind of stuff, but they kept the sales at level from the year before. At this time, I'd like to call on the two winners of this award. From Hurstbourne Country Club, Mr. Danny Barron, and from Audubon Country Club, Mr. Eric Gilliland. This was actually a 5-round vote. We went for 5 rounds to vote for this, so there was a lot of thought put in this, so these guys both deserve this award. The Kentucky Section 2014 Junior Golf Leader nominees are John Bachman, Todd Butts, Donnie Caldwell, Ralph Landrum, Ron Roberts, and Larry Ward. This Junior Leader Award winner for 2014 has attained the first team master coach level, one of 6 worldwide, to represent Kentucky on a national level. He's developed the first tee golf skills as a member of a 15-person committee, instructed 720 youth participants, 35 PGA members for 9 consecutive years at national first tee academies in Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, and the U.S. Instrumental in creating the drug preventive curriculum to be shared with the participants of the first tee through the Life Skills Education Program. This can potentially impact the lives of 2.5 million young people. Closer to home, he has hosted numerous junior events that parallel major events for the kids, like a master's event. He has plus 300 students through Kentucky have received the first tee instruction. So facilitated the development of the national school program in 8 area schools to get youngsters started early playing golf. This person is proud to represent the PGA of America as a business professional and as a man. His mission is to teach young people life skills and equip them for the rest of their lives. He leads by example in community involvement, servant leadership, and integrity as a blessed Christian. And his name is Donnie Caldwell. Kentucky Section PGA Player Development 2014 nominees: Derek Griffiths, Ralph Landrum, Ron Roberts, and Charles Whalen. The winner of this Player Development Award is a member of the National Growth of the Game Committee, chairman of the Growth of the Game since 2008 in Kentucky, active in every possible way to help PGA gather stats about the growth of the game to assist other professionals. Example would be performance track. He makes sure that he puts in all his numbers every month so that he helps the national, help other golf professionals figure out what they should be doing. He spoke at the education seminar at the 2013 merchandise show on junior golf. His facility, with the help of his staff, is involved in Get Golf Ready, Welcome to Golf, American Express Bring a Friend, Patriot Golf, Women's Instructional Leagues, monthly golf schools, free fittings and trade-ups, lady golf mixers, parent-child golf outings, weekly perfect practice, and so on and so on. Junior golf has, his facility has over 500 kids. He has 5 teams in the PGA Junior League last year. For high school golf, he does prep lessons and sessions for people that are interested in getting into high school golf. He has junior league classes for people that want to get a little bit better than just the regular junior golf. People that are interested in going to college to play golf. He has nights that he instructs their parents and the children on what they should be doing, what they should expect of a college. Dozens of junior events throughout the year, not just during the summer. And community outreach in the Boone County YMCA to give lessons. He sets up inflatable golf nets at the Cinco de Mayo Reds game at Fountain Square on May the 5th. And he visits, him and his staff visit 8 different schools and give lessons in gyms, and they saw over 2,000 different kids in 2013. At this time, I'd like to call Ralph Landrum forward. The 2014 Kentucky Section PGA Orton Smith Award nominees are Bobby Baldwin, Peter Garvey, and Craig Hebert. The Orton Smith Award winner for 2014 has attended the PGA Teaching Summit as well as USGA rules and workshops. As a new member of the Education Committee, he looked at how the Kentucky PGA viewed education seminars like we are here, looked at the budget and said this is the wrong way to do this. We need to change. So he ran it by everybody and got it approved. And this allowed for speakers to be paid so they can come and help with our education process and make us a better section. His #1 rule with the committee is, will it benefit the body and, more importantly, the young men and women apprentices of the section. He believes that the Kentucky section can be the best section in the PGA. He is a board member for the last 2 years. He was elected as your secretary last fall in 2013. I'd like to welcome Pete Garvey up to collect his award. I got a lot of paper up here. My computer ate my presentation yesterday morning after the Canadians won. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. So I had to redo everything yesterday. So I'm just kind of piecing everything together. So I hope everybody can follow it. The 2014 Bill Strausbaugh Award nominees are Danny Barron, Peter Garvey, Ralph Landrum, and Brad Morrow. The winner of the Bill Strausbaugh 2014 award comes from a fine stock of wearing the PGA crest daily and proudly. He's advised 3 young men on their way to the PGM program at Mississippi State. He's helped 5 apprentices become Class A members while in his present position. He's held a position on the Kentucky Board of Directors for 4 years. Every discussion we've ever had in a board meeting about the heritage, attitude, wearing pants, and upholding the PGA in our boardroom, he has reiterated how much the PGA crest and lifestyle means to him, as it did to his father, who I know very well, and also a past Bill Strausbaugh Award winner. Without further ado, Mr. Brad Morrow, would you come forward? I kind of kept this award to the end, or near the end. This is for the 2014 Assistant Professionals nominees. There's a lot. We obviously have a lot of good assistant professionals in the section. And I'd like to read these to you at this time. Tommy Burtz, Jamie DeKeister, Chad Douglas, Chris Kleinsasser, Alex Martin, Josh Mers, Austin Meyer, John Piasek, Chris Rettel, Will Schneider, Hank Whalen, Colby Wollitz. And just before we sat down for our, to get back into the meeting after the break, I was asked, how long do you think your presentation is going to take? Because I want to have lunch. I said, well, it all depends on how long I have to take to read everything. He goes, well, cut some of it in half. Well, unfortunately for this gentleman, it's hard to cut anything in half because of what he does and the way he does it. He's directly responsible for the tournament program at his facility. He's also involved in scheduling and training of the staff. He's revamped the Player of the Year points for the tournament committee, or for the tournaments that he runs, so that all the marbles are lying in the last event that they play of the year. He's also developed a spreadsheet for easy reference to help the scheduling budget to save the club 7% of payroll that they've paid out the last 2 years. During the winter months, he has written a policy manual to help him train and make sure everyone knows where to be and what to do and how to do it. He has served as associates as president of the Apprentices of Kentucky and has been elected twice as director at large in the Kentucky Board of Directors. He is involved in the tournament committee for our section. He's just been voted the co-chairman of the tournament committee for our section, plays in events in the Kentucky section, and is a rising star not only in the Kentucky section, but in the PGA as well. At this time, I'd like to bring up Chris Rettel. Yeah, he was the one that said he was hungry. This time, the nominees for the 2014 Kentucky Section PGA Teacher of the Year are Brad Bashon, John Leach, Todd Trimble, Tyrus York. The winner of the 2014 Teacher of the Year has attended 6 national seminars in the last 3 years. You can see he has a large appetite to be the best. If going to seminars on one subject, and they're national the last 3 years. That's good. He started at Man of War in 2008, became the junior golf director there in 2010. Left in 2011, went to High Performance Golf Academy to work with Larry Ward, and he became part owner in 2012. 900 lessons, 900 hours of teaching in 2013. He has a career club fittings of 1,100 through Titleist, True Temper, and Ping. He's a head coach for the Sire High School in Lexington as of 2013. He offers packages to high school students to get instruction during the summer at discount prices. If they're part of a team, he'll have the whole team come out, and so they can get instruction at a lesser price. He uses TrackMan to give the students the best experience that he possibly can. After each week's event, he writes a blog. After each week's event on the PGA Tour, he writes a blog for the Golf Channel. It can be viewed on the Golf Channel website, where he gives insight into how they won, what they did with their swing, and why they're doing it so well. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Tyler Shork up to accept the And the highest award that you can win as a golf professional is the 2014 Kentucky Section PGA Golf Professional of the Year. The nominees are Eric Gilliland, Mike Kehoe, Brad Morrow, Chris Osborne, and Steve Schaefer. This gentleman has been a head golf professional for 18 years. He has experienced many different golf-related items to deal with on a daily basis. In his career, he's been at 3 different types of facilities that's helped him build his repertoire of what he can do on a daily basis. Not to be without, he's had to fix hot dogs, fix vacuums, air conditioners, do cart batteries, running events, giving lessons. And on one visit that I made to his facility, he was taking used frying oil and converting it to diesel fuel. He's always left the facility in a better shape than when he started there, and his current facility for 13 years has come a long way. Except for the diesel fuel, I'm still trying to figure that out. Anyway, section involvement, he served on numerous committees. He's often wanted to serve on the board, but he has a little bit of a drive to make for board meetings and such, so he decided that he was going to spend his time with his family in that area instead of being on serving on the board, but he has served on committees. He was a presenter at 2 KPGA section meetings. He hosted a KPGA assistant merchandising seminar. He arranged annual agreements with Amazon for a section event to sponsor. He never accomplishes his goal on his own. He has a staff, his family, especially his wife. He's given him a lot of help. 3 former assistants that have become members of the PGA, so they were obviously there to help him get his goals. He's tried to make each day fun for his staff, because this job is not a business for everyone. He and his staff teach a class at Campbellsville University to get post-junior players playing after junior golf, which is a phenomenal thought. He offers discounts on fees and lessons to the college students, and he says in his resume, "I would stand that my performance as a PGA golf professional has been the absolute best that I am as a person, a father, and a PGA member could offer." At this time, I'd like to bring up Mike Kehoe to accept his award. He's not accepting his award by himself either.
see Mr. Osborne sitting in the front, and I owe a tremendous amount of gratitude for you giving me a chance 20 years ago, and I appreciate it, and I just want you to know how much I love you. Thank you very much. I've had a lot of good people work with me, but the most important people that work with me, and you can ask them because my wife is at the golf course with me at least 6 days a week. My daughter goes to school until 12 o'clock and then comes out to the golf course to work 5 days a week. My son, if he is not doing anything, is at the golf course either picking the range, washing golf carts, and my mother, who just had a birthday yesterday, still works every day for me at Oak Ridge in Danville. So the biggest thing about my family being here is that it truly is a family operation. I love you all and thank you all so much for everything you do. And I would say that my father died a couple years ago, and I cannot imagine a prouder moment he would have than being here right now, and I'm only sorry he couldn't share it with us. So Mr. Orton, you would have to fill in for that. Thank you all very much.
We have a couple of other awards that have to do with time. These are the Quarter Century Awards. Mr. Paul Augustine, please come forward. This is for being a PGA member for 25 years. I think that deserves a good round of applause. Mr. Bruce Bottom. Bruce Brown, I'm sorry, Bruce. I just wanted to see you again, Bruce. Mr. D. Brown. Mr. Jeffrey Ketterman. And I saw him earlier slinking around in the back where he usually hangs out. Mr. Eddie Mudd. Is he at lunch, Mike? Okay, so we have Bruce Brown, D. Brown, Jeffrey Ketterman, and Eddie Mudd. So when you see those gentlemen, please give them a round of applause and a handshake for their 25 years. And we have another one. Is James E. Sullivan here?
Hey, can I accept it for my dad?
Yes, you can, Mr. Sullivan.
Yeah, he's working today at the shop.
You're making them work today?
Yeah.
Well, and that's good for him because he's been the PGA member for 50 years. Give him a big round of applause. At this time, I'd like to hand the mic back to Mr. Williams. We've